My name is Steve. Welcome to my shop. And Shark Bits, episode number 48. I've got a lot of new subscribers that may not know what my Shark Bits episodes are all about. But typically I cover mail, new shop acquisitions, updates, and so on. Just little things that aren't in themselves worthy of an entire video. In this video, I've got some flea market acquisitions. I've got some purchases I made from other YouTubers. And I've got a piece of equipment that I bought for my lathe. And I'll actually be showing a demonstration of that. It's something that I bought to help out in a short production run that I do. So I will bring you around so that you can see what I'm talking about, and we'll get started. I got some stickers from Craig's workshop, and he is in Tasmania, Australia. I will leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description of this video. I sent him some of my channel stickers. Here are my channel stickers. If anybody's interested in them, just email me with your address and I'll put them in the mail anywhere in the world. I leave my email address in the description. Some of these items have been sitting around for a long time, and anybody that's been following me will realize that I was gone off of YouTube for most of the year. I only made a couple of posts this year, and I just want to go through a real quick explanation of it. I will leave out all the gory details, but going back over a year ago now, the beginning of November, I started with abdominal pain, and it's something that I have had off and on for quite a few years. I had diverticulosis, which is the precursor to diverticulitis, and I kept asking my gastroenterologist if he thought that's what it was, and he says, no. He said, if you have diverticulitis, he says, you'll know it. He says, you'll be in excruciating pain. Well, what he doesn't realize is I've got a relatively high threshold for pain. And I was in pretty good dire straits there a few times. But after a week or so, it would go away and I wouldn't think about it again until it came back. Well, the beginning of November, it came back with a vengeance. I got over it. I got through the holidays. It came back a little bit here and then. But over New Year's weekend of 2023, it really hit me hard. And because New Year's was on a Sunday, Monday was a holiday also, I wasn't able to get into my doctor until Tuesday. They did a CAT scan on Wednesday, and sure enough, I have diverticulitis. So at least it has been diagnosed at that point. She immediately put me on antibiotics, and within a couple of weeks I had straightened out, but then it came back again. To make a long story short, I was on 4 regimens of oral antibiotics and was still having difficulty. So in March, I was put in the hospital to be put on IV antibiotics. Unfortunately, the antibiotics that they had already been using, they were just going to give me stronger doses in the hospital, and they really weren't doing much. They did them by IV, and they wanted to give me penicillin-based antibiotics, which I'm allergic to. I had a violent reaction to them when I was 14 years old, and they said, well, as an adolescent, probably be okay now. So they put me on a penicillin antibiotic, and before they got the first injection in, I got violently ill. So they gave me some medication to offset that. And so I was in the hospital for 5 days on the penicillin IV antibiotics. I went home with an oral prescription for it. And after a week being home, I broke out in a rash and I looked like a lobster, which is what had happened when I was 14 years old. So fast forward, my doctor told me stay on it anyway, finish out the prescription, which was only a couple more days. And then in April, I went into the hospital for surgery to have it removed once and for all. The surgery was a little more complicated than they had anticipated because of having it for such a long period of time. It had done a lot of damage. I was in the operating room for 6 hours, and I was in the hospital for 8 days and got home, and I've been fine ever since. However, I didn't have enough energy to get out of my way until probably mid-August. I really started feeling good again. And in the meantime, I had gotten out of the habit of making YouTube videos. So I'm back in the shop, everything's good, and I'm making YouTube videos. So thanks for sticking with me. And in particular, I want to thank all the new subscribers that came on while I was kind of absent. So let's continue on. This next item I have to share with you was something that Robin Renzetti, in one of his last videos, I don't remember whether he actually did a YouTube video on this or whether it was something I saw on his Instagram page, but he uses Kratex sticks for finishing, for doing fine finishing, and recommended a set of them that was on sale, and they were actually on sale for half price. And so I immediately went online and ordered them. Of course, by then they were already sold out, but about 2-3 months later they showed up in my mail. So here are the Kratex finishing sticks, and they're like a rubberized abrasive and used for fine finishing, and I've got them in different grades, different grits. So I will be using them going forward. Pre-COVID, I went to the Bar Z Summer Bash. I think I went in 2018 and 2019. 2020 was not only right after they locked everything down for COVID, but it also fell on my wife's birthday. So I didn't go. And then because of the conflict with my wife's birthday, I didn't go in 2021. 2022, I planned on going. Birthday moved out of the way with the shift to the calendar, and I had my plane tickets and my hotel reservations, and the day before I was to fly out to California, I got notice from the airlines that they had canceled my flight and they couldn't give me a suitable flight. I would have missed half of it. I would have gotten there on Saturday, and that just was not acceptable to me, and I was able to get a full refund on it. And then in 2023, when I would have had to make my reservations, which would have been March and April, I was still under my health issues, and I didn't want to take a chance on making reservations and not being able to follow through with it. So, as in the other times that I had missed the bash, I made purchases of the raffle tickets, and this time I won. So I got a couple items. I still haven't unpacked this. I got it soon after the bash, so you can see how far back I am. But I got I think this is a Shar's set of leveling jacks. Very nice set of leveling jacks. That was one of the items that I won on the, so I'll be putting that with my setup fixtures. Very nice. Of course, it's not going to go back in the tube now, but that's beside the point. I'll put this over in the drawer with my setup items. Okay, the other thing that I got was another pair of 1, 2, 3 blocks. I'm not even going to open this set up. I've got, I don't know, 7 or 8 sets of them. And so I'm probably going to use this for a giveaway. I'm already starting to think about my 5,000 subscriber giveaway, and I might put them in that. So if you haven't subscribed and you're a regular viewer, please subscribe. I know that some of my regular commenters and some are not marked as subscribers. So do this old man a favor, put a smile on his face, and subscribe to the channel if you like to watch it, and especially if you comment on it. Also, he added a few items. I got a couple of tubes of anchor lube. I have quite a bit of this, so I'll probably include that in my giveaway. Some lanyards, just leftover stuff from the bins that he put out. Oop, there's my winning tickets. Sure Shot carry bag. I like these. I use them to put my helmets and face masks and so on to keep the dust off of them. I have one of my welding helmets in one, and I don't know whether it'll fit in this one or not, but I also got a visor to use with the plasma arc cutter, and that will fit in there. Let's see what else I've got. I've got some vintage machinery stickers. I've got some Barzy Summer Bash stickers. What else have we got? 70 Chevelle 396 sticker. That's a. Here's a couple of rules from Shar's. That's very nice. It's got both metric and fractional on it. I'll probably include one of them in my giveaway bag. I definitely will be keeping one. Here's a Kimber Zellick sticker. And some inch to metric size decimal equivalents, drill tap and drill sizes from Village Press. I've looked into that. I've been trying to find these, to have these made up with my own logo on them to give out with the stones. I'm going to have to find out where I can get these printed up. And that's it for this load. Each summer in August, I go to an event called the Thrashermen's Reunion, and it is put on by the Rough and Tumble Engineers Association, and it's located out in Kinzers, Pennsylvania, which is in Lancaster County. And they always have a big flea market, so I go on Thursday, which is really the first full day of the event, and try and get in there early to hit up the flea market. And this year was no different. Didn't find a whole lot this year, but I did find a couple very useful items. I picked up this face plate that will fit on my 10-inch Atlas lathe, and it measures 8.5 inches. The one that I have for the lathe, I think, is around 6 inches, and I thought that this looked, for the price, this looked like it would be a good item to have. So that was the first item. Next item that I got was this tap wrench, and this is a Greenfield Little Giant number 7 tap wrench, and I think that this is probably about the largest one that I'll ever need. I think I have one that's a little bit larger in a set. In previous years I picked up this one. That one I believe is a number 6. There's no markings on it. We're just adding to my collection. There's 6. This is a number 5. They're all different manufacturers for the most part. I'm trying to see who this one was made by. Oh, this is Greenfield Tap and Die. That's a number 5. The next smallest that I have is a Starrett, and I have several in that size range. This is a cute little one. This is made by General Tool, but this is in the early days of General Tool when they really made some nice machine tool items. And the color case hardening on this is just absolutely gorgeous. And then my little guy is another Starrett. So I've got a pretty nice collection of tap handles. Final item that I picked up is a Starrett number 220 universal mic. I've actually been looking for one of these for some time, and they can be used to measure the thickness of tubing with the round anvil in it. If you were doing a snap ring groove or something, you could use a thin piece of material to measure the correct distance from the end or a feature to a groove by using another piece. So different items can fit in the anvil. So the primary one that's used is this round piece that can be used to measure thin wall tubing. I got a fair price on it, and it's something I had been looking for. So that pretty much winds up what I purchased at the Thresherman's reunion this year. It was a little light on the flea market items, but I always manage to find something. This next item is a purchase, and it's a branded crescent wrench, 18-inch, and I picked this up at an old-time hardware store that I frequent out in Lancaster County, and he deals in some used items, and I went in there one day and this was in a shopping basket full of stuff that he had just brought in. I made him an offer, he countered the offer, and I bought it. I had a situation here last year that I needed something a little bit larger than I already had. I have a 15-inch crescent, but the 18 would have been ideal. The nut that I was trying to get off was on a big heavy-duty trailer hitch, and my 15-inch just wouldn't quite fit. So I'll put this in the collection of wrenches. This next item is a future project. I have been interested in building the Kenneth Wells traction engine. It's in a book called Step by Step Metalworking. It's book number 3, and I've been trying to purchase that for some time, hadn't been able to find it, and they did a reprint on it. I had put it into a wish list, and once the publisher had made it available, I purchased it. It was shipped from England, and this is the book here. So I'm interested in building that traction engine, and I was able to get the files for printing the patterns. I got the files. A friend of mine, Emma Ritson, had the file which she sent to me, and a friend of mine does resin printing, and he printed them out of resin, which is, they're beautiful prints. The only problem that I have with them is that they warped a little bit as they were cooling, and I've sanded the backs of them pretty flat, but I don't want to sand that much off of them. So I'm going to try some heat to try and bend them back in place. If anybody's got any suggestions for me, I'm all ears at this point. This one's worse than this one, but I even thought I might end up putting them on, mounting them on match boards and lining them up that way to be able to pull them flat. That might be an alternative. And the wheels turned out great. It's got plenty of draft. I'll just take and knock the real sharp edges off of it with some sandpaper. So that's going to be a future project. At this point, it's probably going to be springtime before I get to it. And if I'm successful making the castings, I may make a set of castings available. So we'll see how I make out. I haven't done any casting since I did it in college 50 years ago. Boy, that's scary. Okay, my next and final item was a purchase. And I purchased this from Shars, and it's a number 2 Morse taper turret for the tailstock on my Atlas 10-inch lathe. It's set up for a project that I was working on, and I have some video. If you hang around, I've got a short video of production job that I actually purchased this for. It came in a nice box, nice wooden box. Although it'll probably never see that box again. I'll probably use it for something else. And I made some tool holders. I have 5/8 stress proof, and I made my tool holders out of 5/8 stress proof. And this one's got a center drill in it. I threaded one for a number 2B Jacob's chuck, and I've got one with a countersink in it. I'm pretty happy with the way it worked out. As we close out, I'm going to show some video of this in operation. This is a small job that I have for a customer. He is a piano technician, and he has patented piano tuning wrench handle. I helped him develop the mechanical parts of it, and I actually make the pieces. I make an arbor, some tapered arbors, and the piece that you'll see me machining is a head. It's an angled head that the actual socket threads into. And I machine these with a proprietary taper, and then I make an arbor that the taper fits, and then they're screwed together. I don't think there's any narration on the video, but this is just a piece that I do, and I do approximately a dozen at a time as they're needed. Okay, that's going to wrap up this edition of Shark Bits. Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Even a couple of you that keep giving me negative or thumbs down. But at least you're watching the video. Those of you that are particularly observant might notice the white background. And I have been in this garage for 46 years, 47 years since I built this house. Initially I did primarily woodworking, but I've been cleaning out the woodworking tools, moving them into another building, and setting this up a little bit better for my machine work. And one of the things that I have been putting off is insulating my garage door. And so this past summer I ordered an insulation kit for it. It's actually, I'm surprised at how much more comfortable it is here in the shop with that. I'm shocked how good it is. But it's even better in the summer because the sun in the morning just beat on that door, and it would get extremely hot in here and wouldn't cool off for the rest of the day. The air conditioning couldn't keep up with it. So that has made a huge difference. And we'll see, I'll probably be able to work a lot more this winter because of it. So thanks again for watching. Those comments and thumbs ups are always appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.